now to the Plateau State attack. Yesterday we reported 115 dead from Sunday night into Monday morning attack in Plateau State. Now the number of dead people has risen to 150, and well over 10,000 people, according to reports, are displaced in just Plateau State due to the attacks. Now yesterday in the state, there was outrage in literally every corner of Plateau State due to this incident, and also the state governor Caleb Mutfwang has also come out in an address to talk about the situation and also to demand justice for the victims of the recent attack. Let's take a very quick 1 minute or two, listen to Caleb Mutfwang, and then we'll come back quickly to the studio.
This indeed has been a very gory Christmas for us. We have had to celebrate with a heavy heart because just when people were finishing preparations for the Christmas celebrations, unprovoked attacks were unleashed on several of our communities. As I'm talking to you, in Mangu local government alone, we buried at least 15 people so far. As at this morning, in Bokos local government, we are counting not less than 100 corpses. I'm here to take stock of that of Barkin-Ladi. Most of the communities affected in Barkin-Ladi share border with Bokos local government. At the last count also, we have not less than 17 communities that were completely touched and brought down by these bandits and criminals. It has been a very, very terrifying Christmas for us here on the plateau. Unfortunately, we've had to also engage in a lot of non-kinetic methods. We have had engagements with community leaders to be able to identify potential areas of conflict and nip them in the bud. We've been trying to build communal harmony, and to a large extent we have succeeded. But
anyways, the governor in his speech did mention that nothing less than 17 communities were completely burnt down by these bandits, all right? And he also mentioned the fact that it was a well-coordinated attack with heavy weapons, and the attacks were going on in these various communities simultaneously. So it was coordinated. Whoever planned this planned it very well. But then he's calling on security agents to please, fish out those people who were responsible for this, especially those who might have sponsored such an unprovoked attack on innocent people.
Well, it's so sad. It's so sad. Just like what I've said before, Barkin-Ladi, that local government, I don't know what they do for Nigeria. I know if those residents of that local government, they ask them to do a referendum today, they want to be out of this country. Because they've been heated for as long as, even before national democracy. They've been, and they are typically farmers. And they are suffering seriously the way they are being attacked. But now, when you now have Mangu with it, then you now have Bokos with it. A situation in which we just lost 150, and let me tell you, if politicians or media reported 150, you should know it's more than 200, because there are some people that will be killed in the bush that they've not seen. There are some that have been roasted. So that have not seen is the one that journalists can count, or be buried in the presence of journalists that journalists can count. So when it is 150, then you should know it's more than 200. So another thing again is this: our president needs to do more what he's doing. Although, as a Nigerian, in the area of security, I don't think the current architecture will do much. The reason is there: 8 years of General Muhammadu Buhari's regime as a president, who happens to be a former soldier, it did not stop. But one thing here is this: are we going to continue killing ourselves? Are we going to continue killing ourselves just like that? Another thing again is this: it's like a template with all those people managing the information. Immediately something happens like that, you know what's going to happen. The president will say, I commiserate with people of Plateau State, particularly the local government affected, Focus local government, Barikin Lari local government, Mangu local government, and I'm urging all the security architecture, the Nigerian military, to make sure they bring perpetrator to book. That is it. Another thing again is this. It is a high time. If we need to employ more soldiers, let us do that to save this particular, all these is it bandits we are going to call them, any name we want to call them, to all they are criminals, they are terrorists. If anybody can wake up on the eve of Christmas, you get to 17 communities, you slaughter them like mad, and there is a president, there is a governor. Even the governor that is been talking, he's being well secured. All of other people in Plateau State. So what is important? We know in terms of security architecture, but he is collecting money for security votes. What is he using it for? It is a high time that a state like Zamfara, a state like Plateau, they need to have civilian, whatever they want to call them, that are going to be protecting themselves, because it's getting to it could be me and it could be anybody.
Mr. Adegbero, permit me to interject, please, at this point, because I want to bring out some issues from what you have just said. First off is the fact that these local government, these communities that were attacked already have a history. Yeah. You know, they are volatile areas, all right? So why were these places left unmanned? Why was there no form of security? Because for you to you know, coordinate attacks in over 17 communities at the same time, we're talking about numbers of criminals at work at the same time. So it shows there was no kind of security personnel on ground manning this local government that already have a history of hostility. Second of all, the issue of the security votes. How is it performing really when all these things continue to happen repeatedly, and you keep collecting the money that is meant, you know, to actually do something about this thing, and then there is no account for it? Are we really supposed to still keep paying security votes to governors, especially those ones that have issues of insecurity in their domain, and they are doing nothing?
Mama P, our reality is that what we're doing is not working. As a country today, it's not working. The country is not working. In so many regards, we spoke about the health issue, you know, the high-profile deaths we've seen, you know, and all of the people that are dying unannounced every day. Now we're talking security, and it's the same narrative. Look, why is it that every year, do you know that this thing happens every year?
Yeah.
Towards the festive period, Christmas, you know, New Year, you just have these attackers. They will just move in into, if it's not Plateau State, it will be Benue State. If it's not Benue State, it will be somewhere in Nasarawa. That middle belt area. Every year, towards festive period, people are slaughtered. And it's always well coordinated. Just like this one. Always. It's always like this. And they always kill people in their scores. Sometimes hundreds. Every year. And the president, whoever it is, in this case now it's President Tinubu, previous times was worried. Even during Jonathan's period, we had these things. They would just come out with their speech, just like it's a template. And then, now, President Tinubu has added a new element, tough talking. Say, I hereby direct and command the military command to move into, you know,
and arrest the criminals.
Empty talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You know why? The word that has been screaming in my brain as you were talking is conspiracy. There's something afoot with all of this that we simply don't know. You know, these things don't make sense. There is no way that you have coordinated attacks like this. It was planned. Where is our intelligence network? You know, like you say, the issue of security votes. What exactly are these governors doing with these security votes? You know, it's a joke. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I feel that as Nigerians, we have gotten to the point where we need to demand for fundamental changes to how this country is run, how this country operates, how it functions. I don't want to use the word restructure. How the country works and runs. It's not working. We have to go back or go to community policing, the real one, not the constabulary nonsense that the Nigeria police implemented. We need to go to community policing where people will be trained.
In their community.
Yes, they are members of the community. They will be recruited from Barikin Ladi. In fact, you know what? We shouldn't be talking of state police. We should be talking of local government police.
I'm wondering why those communities don't have at least vigilantes.
They have to. We have to. Because Nigeria is descending into chaos. Just look around you, all over the country, even in Lagos, as safe as we think we might be. Things are happening. Kidnaps are going on. People are losing their lives. Ritual killings and all that in this Lagos. So we need to rethink what we're doing. All of those fears that we keep throwing up, politicians will abuse it. I always say it is absolute nonsense. The life of Nigerians are more important than political considerations. Let the politicians abuse it. Let us have community policing. The same way, look, we saw, imagine in Rivers State, the governor of the state was water cannoned by the federal police on the orders of a minister. And we're talking about state police so that governors will not abuse. Well, it's nonsense. We cannot continue to lose lives like this if you implement community policing starting from local government. Yes. And I'm talking of proper policing where people are trained, proper training, recruited properly into security, architecture, trained, equipped, well paid. I'm not even talking of vigilante, Mr. Gunmen. Police, yes. Uniform. Yes. With different grades of uniforms, different command structure, all of them ported and integrated into one overall federal structure where they are communicating and relating with each other across the levels, from the bottom at the local government and community levels to the state to the federal. If we do this, you will see how these things will die. They will die down. Why? Who is afraid of community policing in Nigeria? What are they gaining from these deaths? There's something going on. There's something afoot that we don't understand because these things are self-evident. They're obvious. It's not rocket science. I'm not saying anything new. These are not my ideas. These are things that we've been talking about for years. Why are we not implementing it? This president, when he was in opposition 2013, 2014, my goodness, we did not hear a word. Restructuring. His party went to power 2015. Restructuring talk died. Now he is president. He was the champion of that talk then, as the champion and hero of democracy.
Did you want to hear about this again?
Now, we didn't hear about it under Buhari, and we're not hearing anything about it. I challenge the president and his supporters and his party. Leave politics aside and help Nigeria grow. We cannot have investors in this country when they are reading these types of stories. It is ridiculous. You cannot be traveling up and down with 1,000, 4,000 people. You say you are looking for foreign investors, but you are not securing your country. Where will the investment come? These people that are being killed are farmers. Imagine the kind of money that we can bring into that middle belt area where you can now mechanize, what's it called? You co-opt all of those farmers in that whole entire area. Plateau State, Nasarawa, Benue State, down to Niger State, and all of that, even Zamfara. Co-opt them and mechanize the farming. Imagine the GDP impact that can have. Imagine the revenue implication for the federal government. So if you do not fix security,
imagine the impact on our food security.
If you don't fix this issue,
I get you.
Nobody will come. So please, we need to stop playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. This is painful. My heart bleeds. 160 people cut down just like that overnight.
As if nothing has happened.
And we'll just hear it. It's just the news, numbers on the papers. We'll read it. We'll say, So we'll come on TV like that. So some of us that have access to platforms, like we'll say these things, and then by the day after tomorrow, it's all done. We'll move on until the next one. This has to change. This has to change. Sad.
Thank you. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has strongly condemned the heinous and brutal attacks in Bokos and Barikin Ladi local government areas of Plateau State on Christmas Eve. Now, in a statement released, the president has ordered security agencies to... Why do I feel like I'm just reiterating what Mr. Gunmen has said? But anyways, the president has... he has ordered security agencies to immediately...
They keep it. They just edit it and put name. That's this now. What's it? That is what they are going to say.
bad.
So nothing's going to happen.
It's a lot. Our heart goes out once again to the people of Plateau State at this particular time, especially in all of those communities where lives were lost. You know, over 150 people dead, and that is just this morning. We don't know what the figure will be later today or tomorrow. Yesterday it was 115, today is 150. It's a lot. These are not just mere statistics. These are human beings, people's family members, their fathers, their mothers, wives, husbands, children, you know, killed in cold blood for absolutely no fault of theirs. It's a whole lot. May God help us. All right, I don't know, this issue with just Plateau State, I think it's been on for too long, for too long. I recall my experience in 2001. I already had taken residence in Jos. I got a job that was supposed to resume very soon, and then that first attack started. I was a refugee for 9 days in the forest. 9 days it was raining and shining on me, where we all, you know, took refuge with gunshots and everything, you know. So I can relate with how this can be, especially when people just come at you when you're sleeping. You can't help yourself, you can't defend, you can do. Just imagine it for a minute. The day I got back to Lagos State, I came barefooted. Look, I don't even want to remember. You know, it took me another 2 years before my father allowed me to go back to Jos and pick my property. You know, like my things, my certificates, everything were there. It took 2 years of convincing him because it was a lot. And this is 2023. We're still talking about those kind of attacks. Something needs to be done. Please, God help the people of Plateau State, and God help the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much.